Let's see. Anyone is around to join me live. In the meantime, oh my god, I stink. I stink. I've been to the gym. This morning and just literally got back. And it's not actually my day off on Sundays. I normally like give myself full, don't do any client work. I just take it as my day to go to the gym, maybe see friends or whatever, or just chill out and like binge watch Netflix and whatever else I want to do. But this morning I was feeling some feelings, which is very inconvenient. And I thought, fuck it, I'm going to go live and talk about this. So basically what happened this morning was pretty much since last October I've been on a journey with my body. Well, my whole life I've been on a journey with my body. It's my body, innit? But since last October I started working with Vamp and did some amazing work with her for about 3 months actually overall. Like we worked together fully, and then lockdown commenced and I did some more work with her, and then I went on a gut cleanse with a lady called Grace, and now I'm doing some work with Michelle and Leah in this kind of more 5 elements theory and learning about what foods work for me because I'm a fire constitution, all this kind of stuff. So anyway, I lost loads of weight last year working with Vamp, calorie counting, training, you know, like relearning how to train my body in a way that wasn't like fucking destroying it every session in order to feel like I'd done something. Because I very much had that mentality of like, if I'm not completely fucked at the end of a session, I feel like I want to die, then have I actually, has it had any impact? And I used to feel like that about everything, right? I used to feel like that, oh, hey, is someone watching? Hey, say hello so I know who you are. Oh, it's Sophie. Hey, Sophie. Nice to see you, doll. Yeah, so I kind of relearned how to train my body and my mind. I was very much in my business moving towards more ease, more just doing what felt really good. Hey. And not like feeling like I have to fucking work my tits off to get results. And I was getting really comfortable with doing that in my business, but when it came to my body, I was still really struggling to see, like, to make the pieces fit. So working with Vamp really helped me with that. And then I kind of carried that. I'm just gonna grab another cushion for back comfort purposes. That has a bit angle. There we go, that's better. I feel much more alert and erect now. Into your body, Georgina, what do you want to say? So after doing all of that work and realising like, oh, okay, yeah, you really don't have to fucking smash yourself to bits in order to see changes in your body. Maybe just be more mindful, understand that what you put in, you burn. And if you're in like a calorie deficit, then you're going to lose weight. Like, you know, it's just a few pieces that really landed with me. Hey, Emily, nice to see you. And so once I realised that I didn't have to destroy myself to either get results in my business or get results with my body or anything, that which is meant for us should not actually be as hard as we make it. Anytime we're making it really hard, then we usually see that even if we get the result we wanted, we don't really appreciate it because we're absolutely fucking knackered or like broken, or we don't get the result that we wanted at all. So I've definitely learned that for me, a big piece of any journey I embark on is I need to enjoy the process. If I don't enjoy the process, then to me the result isn't worth having. You know, like what my boyfriend and I were watching this program called Alone last night. I don't know if you've seen this. So these people get put on an island, and they have to survive in the wilderness alone. They've got a certain amount of supplies and whatever, and they literally have no company, no support, and they just like they have to tap out if they don't want to carry on doing the process. And the prize is like $500,000. And my boyfriend said to me, oh, and I said, there is literally no amount of money in the world that could make me do that process. they're wet, they're uncomfortable, they don't have enough food, they don't have clean water, they're constantly just like, they can't wash properly, like it's pissing down with rain, they've got no proper shelter really. And I'm like, there is literally, and he was like, 2 billion, I'd do it for 2 billion pounds. And I just looked, and he went, you wouldn't do it for 2 billion? And I'm like, no, I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. I would, because I wouldn't want to. And for me, there are better ways to make 2 billion pounds. If that's what I really want, if the goal is to get 2 billion pounds, if that's the goal in my life, then I can find way more fun ways of doing that are actually going to enhance my life. You know, like I'm not someone who has to like prove that I can survive the struggle and then get the reward at the end. I'm more of a, I'll work, like I love to graft and hustle, you know, I train fucking Muay Thai, like I get punched in the face and kicked and, you know, like I work fucking hard, but I love it. And when I don't love it, that's when I start to struggle. So anyway, this is kind of going off piece, but it's all relevant. So this morning I put my gym stuff on and I started to notice that I was getting like these little podgy rolls. And, you know, there's no reason like in my menstrual cycle for me to have a little bit of extra weight at the moment. I haven't been eating as well as I could have been, but still, I've probably still been in a calorie deficit. I've been training really hard, like 5 or 6 times a week, training Muay Thai, going to the gym, big walks, you know, like hydrating, eating all the good stuff. So there's no like physical, practical reason why I would be gaining weight or having, you know, excess bit of belly. And when I'm really like talking about like a little bit of belly, right? But for where I am right now, for what I'm doing, like the practical side of it, there's no real reason why that should be there. So, me being me, I kind of go within and I'm like, right, what is this really about? So I got in my car this morning, I'm driving to the gym, feeling a bit self-conscious because like so many people have been commenting on how amazing I've been looking and, oh, you've lost so much weight, you look so fit, oh my God, your waist is really nipped in. And it's like, wow, thank you. But I guess there's some part of me that was like starting to feel like it needed to protect itself for some reason. And I could feel like when I felt, I'm very in tune with my body, right? So when I felt into my body, I was like, what is this? Is this food? And like intuitively, I knew my body was communicating with me. It's very good at that. And if I don't listen, then it shouts at me. So it's like, I'm getting used to like listening to the whispers. I think I've been bitten on the foot. Ouchie. I'm not itching my myth. I'm like itching my foot. Not like having a good old vag scratch down here. Like I have to got an itchy heel. So back to the story. Yeah, so I got in the car and I was like, right, what is this really about? And I could feel that it wasn't coming from within, it was coming from without. It was like there was something impacting me from the external world that was causing my body to react by holding extra weight. So protection. So I'm like in the car, like, what am I trying to protect myself from? And I was like, oh, I feel like I've let myself down. I was like, and then I started to cry. It was like, oh, I feel like I've let myself down. And so I allowed myself to really feel it. I didn't get mad at myself. I didn't try and shut the feelings away. I literally just had a little bubble snot cry in the car on the way to the gym. And I was like, oh, I really feel like I've let myself down. It's just so crazy. I ate bread yesterday. Oh my God. And it's just like, oh no, did you eat a couple of slices of bread? Oh God, quick, call the food police. But you know, that's where my head went. And this is what happens, right? We get irrational. It's okay. It's okay to get irrational. It's okay to like lose your fucking mind about stuff and totally go overboard. It's like, it's okay. Just don't judge yourself for it. Just let it happen, let it pass and move the fuck on with your life. Right? So, and I could feel like how irrational it was, but I was like, it's okay. I'm just going to let myself feel it. So I let myself feel it. And then I was driving along and I was like, right, I really want to get to the bottom of this, because I was like, what would I say to a client who came to me and said, I haven't really been eating as well as I know I could be, and I feel like I've let myself down, and I've gained a little, like I feel like I'm starting to slip, feel like I'm constantly in a battle of like holding the weight off rather than just naturally going down to my leanest body, you know? So that's how I felt this morning. Something happened in my mindset, and I was like, I feel like I said to my boyfriend, sometimes I feel like my body wants to be fat and I'm just fighting it. And that was, as soon as I said that, I was like, I didn't feel like this last week. Something's shifted, something's moved in my inner world, in my inner dialogue and my narrative about myself. There's a new story that's been activated and it's bullshit. So I need to just allow myself the space to figure out where the story is coming from so that I can change it, so I can rewrite it and actually find the truth, you know? Please let me know, guys, if any of this is resonating with you. I'd love to hear, like, you know, if this is dinging any of your bells. So as I'm in the car and I'm noticing all these patterns, I'm like, right, okay, what's really going on here? Something about protection. What would I say to a client if they came to me and they were in tears, like, I feel like I've let myself down, I feel like I've backtracked, I feel blah, blah, blah. And I just dropped into myself and I was like, what I would say to a client is feel it all and then forgive yourself and move the fuck on. Like, you're not at the end of your journey. You're on the journey, you're on the path. This is kind of what we did tapping on in my lunar tapping circle the other day, this idea of like being on the journey. You're not at your destination yet. But also, getting a bit cold now. I'm literally, my t-shirt is soaked through from training this morning. I'm sitting here in wet, sweaty, disgusting clothes because I was inspired to talk to you. And as we all know, when the inspiration strikes for me, I'm in. I don't fucking wait. Otherwise the spark goes and the magic's gone and you don't get the messages it needs to come through. So honor the message, people. So anyway, I fell into what was the missing piece? What was the piece that I really needed to understand? So yes, there was forgiveness. That was a big bit. And then the layer beneath that was also like, I don't think I've truly grieved my old identity. So like this time last year, I was in Bali on a wealth retreat doing like energy work and shamanic rituals and all sorts of crazy shit around money and wealth. And one of the things that I wanted to call in was my like ideal body. And one of the things I had to do, or that I chose to do as part of one of the rituals, was I stripped down to my knickers and I walked around the circle and I put my clothes in the middle. And as I took my clothes off, I release feeling disgusted by my body and by myself. And even saying that makes me feel a bit emotional that I used to feel that way about my body because it has served me so well. The things that this body has journeyed with me have been absolutely immense, whether it's, we're going. Authentic as fuck, people. I'm not going to pretend that this isn't emotional because it fucking is. I felt so disgusted by my body this time last year. And I no longer feel that way. I just don't. I don't feel disgusted by myself and my body anymore. I've done so much work on it over the last 12 months and I'm really proud of myself for that. But I also, sometimes I forget still to love my body, to love what it does for me. And when I think about the traumas we've been through together, like physical, like when I got stabbed in the arm, whether it's been like sexual trauma, whether it's been financial or business or relationship or family or bereavements, or whether it's just been like the 2 fights that I've done and the fight camps and the training that I do and the amount of physical training I put it through on a weekly basis, the way like I work it like a fucking warhorse, my body is fucking amazing. Like it is, it's an amazing body, and it's not amazing because of the way it looks. It's amazing because of what it allows me to do, what it carries me through on a daily basis. And I think we don't spend enough time, I'll speak for myself, I don't spend enough time really like being in gratitude. I spend time trying to make it different, or like trying to make it smaller or tighter or leaner or perter, or you know, some place like my ass, maybe I want to make it a bit bigger, or you know, whatever. It's like, holy fuck, man, when was the last time you literally sat down and just went, whoa, this body is amazing, and you still get to you still deserve to have it look the way you want it to as well, right? And your body deserves to look the way you want it to look as well. And the same goes for everything. Your business, your finances, your clients, your relationships, everything. Everything that's in your life right now has served you to a point. So when you are able to take stock of that and be incredibly grateful for that and like appreciative of that, and then still feel okay with asking for more, that's kind of the sweet spot, you know? Because when we gratitude ourselves into stagnation, that's not great. But we also, well, for me, I certainly don't necessarily thrive from a space of like making myself feel like shit for where I am. Like that, no, maybe some people do. Maybe some people really get fucking amazing results in their life from doing that. But I'm not one of them. Like that just sucks the fucking life out of me. I'm here to be joyful and radiant, not fucking miserable cunt. So one of the things that I realized on my journey today, on my tiny little car journey, is, I mean, literally, I live about 5-10 minute drive from the gym at the most, and this all happened in that I shift fast, bitches. I shift fast. So once I realized what the problem was, I just kind of asked myself, like, what needs to happen? What do I need to do? What do I need to release? What do I need to forgive? And that's when the stuff about last year, being in Bali, having, you know, carrying excess weight and feeling all that disgust and shame around my body and releasing it all, to now understanding how amazing it is and how much it does for me. And almost like, you know, when you wash your car, and it's, well, okay, this is what I do when I love my car, right? And when I wash my car, I'm like, I feel good. I feel like I'm giving my car a treat. I'm like, yeah, you deserve to be clean, you sexy little beast. And that's kind of what I feel about my body. When I'm really taking care of it, I'm coming from that mindset. I'm coming from, you're so amazing, body. Like, I want to treat you the best. I want to give you the best food, the best fuel. I want to use the best products on you. I want to rest you. I want to work you. I want to mold you into what you deserve to be. You know, it's a very different space to come from than, oh, I'm not enough and I need to change. Like when you're literally loving something and you just want it to have the best, it's very different, right? It's like being in a relationship and trying to change someone into something that you want versus loving someone so much that you just want to support them in having the best fucking life they can. It's just a very different energy to come from. And the final piece was, I realized I hadn't truly released or grieved that identity. I hadn't really allowed myself to fully forgive myself for wanting to be different than I was last year. And that version of me got me really fucking far. She got me to 36 years old. She got me to 6 figures in my business. She got me to, into the programs that were going to support me to get the body that I wanted. And it's not like she's dead, because I am her, but I just feel so different now that there's a grieving process sometimes that needs to happen when we release a past version of ourselves. Otherwise, it can kind of feel, well, to me, it can feel like they're always just there waiting in the wings, you know? So there's still some kind of energetic attachment to them. So these are the things that I'm going to do today in order to support me in releasing her and fully stepping into who I am now and who I am becoming as I move forward. So the things I'm going to do a chakra clear between me and her, which is using emotional clearing, which is one of the modalities that I use with my clients as well. We're going to do a chakra clear between me and her and make sure there's nothing that's still holding me attached to her. I'm going to write a list or a letter, see how I feel at the time, to her around the qualities and thanking her and then I'm going to burn it. And then I'm going to sit with, I have an altar upstairs, and I'm going to sit with my altar, and I'm just going to breathe and meditate and just feel myself letting her go. And one of the parts of this is allowing myself to feel safe in the process of letting her go. Because when we're on this ever evolving journey and we're constantly moving forward and transforming and changing and growing and it can be very disorientating. We can kind of cling to things around us for safety. We want to anchor ourselves into something that's familiar. And when everything externally feels like it's changing, sometimes the thing that we will cling to is a past identity. So if you're not able to release your past identity with rituals like, forgiveness or writing lists and burning them, or chakra clearing or meditation, or whatever kind of intentional practice and mindset practice, spiritual practice you have, definitely look into how you would do that. Come and work with somebody like me, go and find someone who does that you resonate with and do the work with them. But this idea of releasing a past identity is so potent because we carry them in our genetic blueprint, like we've been them. That person lives in the cells of our body, in the neurons in our mind. They live in the blueprint of our energetic field. So going through a process of releasing that old identity, it's all well and good stepping into a new one, but if you don't release the old one, they're still kind of in your field. And anyone who's worked with me will know that unless you kind of collapse your attachment to that, whether it's negative or positive, you can feel, like I was saying earlier, around like you can almost feel like you're always holding that old identity at bay whilst you're moving towards the new one. And it's also going to slow you down. Just saying. And the final piece I have on this is, even though I started this kind of really intentional journey around my body in October, when lockdown hit in like March, April on the island that I live on, and it was about two or 3 months, when that was here, I did eat more, I didn't exercise as much, I did allow myself to gain weight. But here I am again, back where I was like in February when I was lean and lost the weight and I was super fit. Like, I'm back there. But if you'd have told me in October last year, oh, you're going to lose weight and get really, really fit, and then something's going to happen and you're going to put a bit of weight on, probably get a little bit unfit, feel a bit shit, and then it's going to come off again, but there's going to be this bit in the middle that you're going to feel a bit ugh, then I probably would have been like, oh, I don't want that to happen. But you just got to take each day as it comes. You've just got to roll with it and know that when those dips come, it's just a journey. It's not your destination. You get to continually realign your internal frequency and your intention to what you actually want to create in the world. So that's what I have for you on this beautiful Sunday, she says, looking outside at the grey sky that looks like it's about to piss down with rain. If you want to come work with me, or you want to support me in some way by purchasing one of my delicious products, feel free to come on over and click the link that I've popped down. In that link, you will find a link to my journaling ebook. You will find a link to my meditation download. You will find a link to my free meditation. There's free stuff on there as well. You'll find a link to my YouTube channel. You'll find a link to also the amazing Lunar Tapping Circle, which I launched at the beginning of this week. And our next tapping will be on the full moon on the 1st of October. But there's also one in there for the new moon just gone. And it doesn't matter if it isn't the new moon anymore. The tapping will still be epically potent, because I set the intention at the beginning that anyone who joins now, or whether it's like 10 years in the future, they will still benefit from the work that we did on that day. So if that's something that, floats your boat, then go ahead and check out the link in the bio where all of my things live. And if you've got any questions, drop them below this live stream in the comments and tag me so that I make sure I see it. If you don't tag me, I don't see it. I get so many fucking notifications every day that I just ignore them unless someone's actively tagged me. So now you know. Okay, loves, it's been fun. I hope you gained value. If you have, I'd love to know what you're taking from this live stream, what you're going to assimilate and integrate and embody as you move forward. So, big love to you all. Bye.